Hello and welcome to Tea and New Book Tuesday. I'm Lisa. I'll be your librarian today. And it worked. The intro actually played. I'm on. Everything looks okay so far. I got confident last week and we saw how that went. So I'm not confident yet. I'm not going down that road. I shall not be led down that garden path. Tea and New Book Tuesday is the live stream from Mobile Public Library that allows you to hear about our books that we have pre-ordered and are already in the catalog ready for you to put on hold as much as a month or a month and a half in advance of their arrival, so you can be the first to get them as soon as they're ready to be checked out, which in many cases will be on release day. Not every case. Varies by distributor, by publisher, by all sorts of things, but you'd be surprised at how many are ready on release day, which is why this program exists. Anyway, today is March Yellow Labels. Yellow Labels at Mobile Public Library are mystery, suspense, and thriller. This is a massive genre. Every time we consider breaking up fiction into, instead of just shelving them as fiction and then by author, but separating them out as all of the mystery would sit together and all of the romance would sit together and that kind of thing. First of all, it's always a little weird because a lot of books don't have a single genre. Arguably, something like Twilight is both fantasy, urban fantasy specifically, and then romance as well, because the romantic element is really strong and really important to that plot. So you can't discount it, but werewolves and vampires. So, supernatural. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. When we separate them out, the Yellow Labels is just a monster. It's just this massive section of fiction that never wants to end. And, this list is kind of like that. I had so much stuff on it that I have eliminated anything that hasn't gotten basically a starred review. Or I also pulled out a couple that are debuts or new series because I know you guys want to hear about those. And, they deserve some love too. I'd give everything love if I had time, but I don't have time. So we have 10 books today from our Yellow Labels. Wait. I have. Also, we are, as always, having the giveaway. And now that I'm explaining that we're having the giveaway, it is occurring to me that I need to go over and activate the giveaway, which I will do right now as we are talking. So I am opening up the giveaway page, which should have been in the description of this. It will start accepting responses as soon as I hit that button right there. I will start talking about our books here in a minute. It's mini surprise, which, as you know, means I'm giving away one of the books I was planning on talking about anyway, plus 3 other books. I think I only have one left over because the new system with the page, it's fantastic. You guys get books. I get to inform you easily, quickly, and everything's going out, which is exactly what I want. So we're going to talk about Yellow Labels, which we already said, which are mystery, thriller, suspense, which you already know. I am reading Jane Austen. I'm actually reading Mansfield Park for the first time. I just read Persuasion, Sense and Sensibility, and Lady Susan. I'm a massive Jane Austen fan, by the way. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. Have I? I've told you that. Haven't I? Maybe? Possibly? Anyway. I've saved parts of Austen because I loved her so much. I did not want to be done with her. And I found these books. I read Pride and Prejudice for the first time when I was 17 or 18. So I was holding out. So, but I'm now down to the dregs. I'm down to what's left. So I'm reading Mansfield Park. And I get what she's writing about. I get that she's writing about a very shy protagonist and someone who's more unassuming to the world, which is nice. I prefer it in Persuasion, where the character's a little older. For this whole beginning of Mansfield Park is just feeling like the story of a young girl who didn't get taken care of by any of the adults around her, except for her cousin who's a teenager who should have been off being a teenager and shouldn't have had to be the one in the family to come in and take care of a kid that got adopted. Like, why his parents weren't doing it, I don't understand. Other than they're jerks. But I'm slowly getting into it. So we shall see. I need to read something new at some point, but I'm so enjoying being in Austen land that even when I watch movies, I'm preferring, like last night, I was bored and needed something to watch, so I watched The Favorite. So it's all period dramas at my house right now. For no reason. Just because. All right, let's get into, first of all, my tea. Which today I'm having chamomile from Twinings. That's not a surprise. It's kind of a surprise that I ended up with this because I planned on having glazed lemon loaf. The string came unattached from the tea bag, and I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll just fish it out with my spoon. And I put it in there, and I put it in the water, and then there's just tea leaves everywhere. Like, oh, so the string holds it together. I did not know that. Then I pulled out so I dumped that, and I pulled out another one, ready to have herbal passion tea. Opened up that packet, and the bag was already opening up, and tea leaves were coming out. I'm like, okay, great. So I have some old chamomile in the back, and I think that's what I'm going to be drinking today. But it is lovely. Okay, getting in to our books today. Starting with a giveaway book. Okay. Why am I holding it up? The cover is right there. I have no sense of frame right or left. I just don't. Anyway, so, but I do have a copy. Proof that I have a copy. This is The World Cannot Give by Tara Isabella Burton. Let me get my description here because I want it on the piece of paper. The World Cannot Give. When shy, sensitive Laura Stern arrives at St. Dunstan's Academy in Maine, she dreams that life there will echo her favorite novel, All Before Them, the sole surviving piece of writing by Byronic prep school prophet and St. Dunstan's alum Stephen Webster, who died at 19 fighting in the Spanish Civil War. Soon, she finds the intensity she is looking for among the insular, Webster-worshipping members of the school's chapel choir, which is presided over by the charismatic, neurotic, overachiever Virginia Strauss. Virginia is as fanatical about her newfound Christian faith as she is about the miles she runs every day before dawn. She expects nothing short of perfection from herself and from the members of her choir. Virginia inducts the besotted Laura into the world of transcendent music and arcane ritual, illicit cliff diving and midnight crypt visits, a world that, like Webster's novels, finally seems to Laura to be full of meaning. But when a new school chaplain challenges Virginia's hold on the family she's created, and Virginia's efforts to wield her power become increasingly dangerous, Laura must decide how far she will let her devotion to Virginia go. The World Cannot Give is a shocking meditation on the power and danger of wanting more from the world. It got a starred review from Kirkus Magazine, so if you want to win this copy, go ahead and fill out the Google form from the link that's in the description. If you want it and you don't end up getting it, then by all means put it on hold so you can check it out when it comes out on March 8th. Our other books that we're giving away today include Stuart Neville, The House of Ashes, Here Now, Till I Tell You. Sarah Keene's husband, Damien, has uprooted them from England and moved them to his native Northern Ireland for a fresh start in the wake of her nervous breakdown. Sarah, who knows no one in Northern Ireland, is jobless, carless, friendless, all but a prisoner in her own house. When a blood-soaked old woman beats on the door, insisting the house is hers, before being bundled back to her care facility, Sarah begins to understand the house has a terrible history her husband never intended for her to discover. As the two women form a bond over their shared traumas, Sarah finds the strength to stand up to her abuser, and Mary, silent for 6 decades, is finally ready to tell her story. Through the counterpoint voices, one modern Englishwoman, one Northern Ireland farm girl speaking from half a century earlier, Stuart Neville offers a chilling and gorgeous portrait of violence and resilience in this truly haunting narrative. So that is The House of Ashes by Stuart Neville. It's another giveaway book. Okay, my third giveaway book today is All Her Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. Elise Littlejohn seemingly has it all. An Ivy League law degree, a well-paying job as a corporate attorney in Midtown Atlanta, great friends, and a for-fun relationship with a rich, charming executive, her white boss, Michael. But everything changes one cold January morning when Elise goes to meet Michael and finds him dead with a gunshot wound in his head. And then she walks away like nothing has happened. Why? Elise has been keeping a cache of dark secrets, including a small-town past and a kid brother who spent time on the other side of the law. She can't be thrust into the spotlight again. But instead of grieving this tragedy, people are gossiping. The police are getting suspicious, and Elise, the company's lone black attorney, is promoted to replace Michael. While the opportunity is a dream come true, Elise just can't shake the feeling that something is off. When she uncovers shady dealings inside the company, Elise is trapped in an impossible ethical and moral dilemma. Suddenly, Elise's past and present lives collide as she launches into a pulse-pounding race to protect the brother she tried to save years ago and stop a conspiracy far more sinister than she could have ever imagined. So that's All Her Secrets. And finally, we have another copy of 5 Decembers. I've given this one away before. It's been popular. Set in December 1941, America teeters on the brink of war, and in Honolulu, Hawaii, police detective Joe McGrady is assigned to investigate a homicide that will change his life forever. Because the trail of murder he uncovers will lead him across the Pacific, far from home and the woman he loves, and through the U.S. And though the U.S. doesn't know it yet, a Japanese fleet is already steaming towards Pearl Harbor. This extraordinary novel is so much more than just a gripping crime story. It's a story of survival against all odds, of love and loss, and the human cost of war. Spanning the entirety of World War II, 5 Decembers is a beautiful, masterful, powerful novel that will live in your memory forever. So that's 5 Decembers by James Kestrel. All right, if you want any of these 4, be sure to sign up for the giveaway and pick your most favoritist one that you would like the most. I will give books away tomorrow at noon. All right, let's move on to more new books. And we'll go like that. Go like that. Moving on to The Heights by Louise Candlish. Okay, this one's interesting. I mean, they're all interesting, but you know what I mean. The Heights is a tall, slender apartment building among warehouses in London. If its roof terrace is so discreet, you wouldn't know it existed if you weren't standing at the window of the flat directly opposite. But you are. And that's when you see a man up there. A man you'd recognize anywhere. He may be older now, but it's definitely him. But that can't be because he's been dead for over 2 years. You know this for a fact. Because you're the one who killed him. This got starred reviews from Publishers Weekly and Booklist. If you're interested in The Heights, that's all the description they're going to give you. And it comes out March 1st. Next up, Murder in the Park by Jean M. Daniels. This is going to be a new series. June 1925. Having been widowed in the First World War, Elizabeth Fairchild lives a quiet life at her home of her wealthy parents in genteel Oak Park Village, Illinois. Although she does her best to avoid emotional entanglements, determined never to be hurt again, Elizabeth forms a close relationship with gentle Mr. Anthony, who owns the local antique store. But tragedy strikes when Mr. Anthony is found stabbed to death in the alley behind his shop. Why would anyone murder a mild-mannered antiques dealer who simply loved beautiful things? A robbery gone wrong? A gangland execution? Or could it have something to do with the mysterious customer who bought a gold pocket watch from Mr. Anthony on the day he died? When one of her father's closest friends is accused of the crime, Elizabeth determines to expose the real killer, but her investigation soon attracts unwanted attention. With gangsters moving into the neighborhood from nearby Chicago, Oak Park is no longer the safe haven it once was. Could Elizabeth be seriously out of her depth? So there'll be more, presumably with Elizabeth in the 20s, in the Chicago area, which sounds exciting. But if you're interested in Murder in the Park, it comes out March 1st. All right. Girl in Ice by Erica Ferencik. Anyway, that last one was not right. There's another book with a very similar title, so be careful when you search this one, or use the newsletter, because way easier to use the newsletter and just click on the link and end up in the catalog. Anyway, Girl in Ice. Valerie Val Chesterfield is a linguist trained in the most esoteric of disciplines, dead Nordic languages. Despite her successful career, she leads a sheltered life and languishes in the shadow of her twin brother Andy, an accomplished climate scientist stationed on the remote island off Greenland's barren coast. But Andy is gone, a victim of suicide, having willfully ventured unprotected into 50-degree below zero weather. Val is inconsolable and disbelieving. She suspects foul play. When Wyatt, Andy's fellow researcher in the Arctic, discovers a scientific impossibility, a young girl frozen in the ice who thaws out alive, speaking a language no one understands, Val is his first call. Will she travel to the frozen north and meet this girl, try to comprehend what she is so passionately trying to communicate? Under the auspices of helping Wyatt interpret the girl's speech, Val musters every ounce of her courage and journeys to the Arctic to solve the mystery of her brother's death. The moment she steps off the plane, her fear threatens to overwhelm her. The landscape is fierce, and Wyatt, brilliant but difficult, is an enigma. But the girl is special, and Val's connection with her is profound. Only something is terribly wrong. The child is sick, maybe dying, and the key to saving her lies in discovering the truth about Wyatt's research. Can his data be trusted? And does it have anything to do with how and why Val's brother died? With time running out, Val embarks on an incredible frozen odyssey led by the unlikeliest of guides to rescue the new family she has found in the most unexpected of places. This got starred reviews from both Publishers Weekly and Booklist, so it's fairly anticipated. If you're interested in Girl in Ice, it comes out March 1st. So, moving on to The Quiet People. This one has a really short description, but before I get into it, there's multiple covers on Goodreads. I have no idea which one is going to be the American cover. And I also had trouble on Goodreads finding a description that was in English, which is weird. It happens sometimes, but it's still really frustrating. At any rate, it has a very distinct plot, and I think once I read it to you, you'll be able to hopefully remember, especially if you're interested. At any rate, The Quiet People by Paul Cleave. Cameron and Lisa Murdoch are successful crime writers. They have been on the promotional circuit joking that no one knows how to get away with crime like they do. After all, they write about it for a living. So when their 7-year-old Zach goes missing, the police and the public naturally wonder if they have finally decided to prove that they have what they have been saying all this time. Are they trying to show how they can commit the perfect crime? And the tagline above on this cover is, "Can crime writers get away with murder?" This got a starred review from Publishers Weekly. If you're interested in The Quiet People, it comes out March 1st. Okay. Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett. When the body of disgraced reality TV star Desiree Pierce is found on a playground in the Bronx the morning after her 25th birthday, the police and the media are quick to declare her death an overdose. It's a tragedy, certainly, but not a crime. But Desiree's half-sister Lena Scott knows that this can't be the case. A graduate student at Columbia, Lena has spent the past decade forging her own path far from the spotlight. But some facts about Desiree just couldn't have changed since their childhood, and Desiree would never travel above 125th Street. So why is no one listening to her? Despite the bitter truth that the two haven't spoken in 2 years, Torn apart by Desiree's partying and by their father Mel, a wealthy and influential hip-hop mogul, Lena becomes determined to fight justice for her sister, even if it means untangling her family's darkest secrets or ending up dead herself. This got a starred review from Publishers Weekly. If you're interested in Like a Sister, it comes out March 8th. All right, let me get a little tea. And we'll get into Don't Know Tough by Ellie, I think, Krenor? Anyway, Trent Powers relocates his family from Anaheim to Arkansas to take over as head coach of the Denton Pirates, a high school football team powered by a volatile but talented running back named Billy Lowe. Billy comes from an extraordinarily troubled home, a trailer park where he is terrorized by his unstable mother's abusive boyfriend. Billy takes out his anger on the field, and it's not long before he crosses a line. Instead of punishing him, though, Trent takes Billy into his home, hoping to protect his star player from... Trent takes Billy into his home, hoping to protect his star player as the Pirates begin their playoff run. But when Billy's abuser is found murdered, nothing can stop an explosive chain of violence that could tear the town apart. This is a first novel from Ellie, last name I can't pronounce. If you're interested in Don't Know Tough, it comes out March 8th. Next up is 9 Lives by Peter Swanson. 9 strangers receive a list with their names on it in the mail. Nothing else. Just a list of names on a single sheet of paper. None of the 9 people know or have ever met any of the others on the list. They discuss it as junk mail, a fluke, until very, very bad things begin to happen to the people on the list. First, a well-liked old man is drowned on a beach in the small town of Kennewick, Maine. Then, a father is shot in the back while running through a quiet neighborhood in suburban Massachusetts. A frightening pattern is emerging. But what do these 9 people have in common? Their professions range from oncology nurse to aspiring actor. FBI agent Jessica Winslow, who is on the list herself, is determined to find out. Could there be some dark secret that binds them all together? Or is this the work of a murderous madman? As a mysterious sender stalks these 9 strangers, they find themselves constantly looking over their shoulders, wondering who will be crossed off next. This got a starred review from Booklist, so if you were interested in 9 Lives, it comes out March 15th. All right. Moving on to Under Lock and Key, a secret staircase mystery by Gigi Pandin? Something. I swear it gets worse as the show goes on. My pronunciations just become a bigger and bigger disaster. And I'm sorry to all of these authors. I know you're not watching, but, I'm still sorry. Okay. After a disastrous accident derails Tempest Raj's career and life, she heads back to her childhood home in California to comfort herself with her grandfather's Indian home-cooked meals. Though she resists, every day brings her closer to the inevitable, working for her father's company. Secret Staircase Construction specializes in bringing the magic of childhood to all by transforming clients' homes with sliding bookcases, intricate locks, backyard treehouses, and hidden reading nooks. When Tempest visits her dad's latest renovation project, her former stage double is discovered dead inside a wall that's supposedly been sealed for more than a century. Fearing she is the intended victim, it's up to Tempest to solve this seemingly impossible crime. But as she delves further into the mystery, Tempest can't help but wonder if the Raj family curse that's plagued her family for generations, something she used to swear didn't exist, has finally come for her. This is book 1 in the Secret Staircase Mysteries series. It also got a starred review from Publishers Weekly. If you're interested in Under Lock and Skeleton Key, it comes out March 15th. And our final book of the day, The Secrets We Share by Edwin Hill. At first glance, Natalie Kavanaugh and Glenn Abbott hardly look like sisters. Even off duty, Natalie dresses like a Boston cop, preferring preferring practical clothes and unfussy pinned-up hair. Her younger sister Glenn seems tailor-made for the spotlight, from her signature red mane to her camera-ready smile. Glenn has spent years cultivating her brand through her baking blog, and with the publication of her new book, that hard work seems about to pay off. But her fans have no idea about the nightmare in Glenn and Natalie's past. 20 years ago, their father's body was discovered in the woods behind their house. A trauma like that doesn't fit in with Glenn's public image, yet maybe someone reading her blog does know something. There have been anonymous online messages, vague yet ominous, hinting that she's being watched. And with unsettling coincidences hitting ever closer to home, both Glenn and Natalie soon have more pressing matters to worry about, especially when a dead body is found in an abandoned building. Natalie is starting to wonder how much Glenn really knows about the people closest to her. But are these also secrets Natalie has yet to uncover about those she herself trusts? For 2 decades, she's believed their father was murdered by their neighbor, with whom he was having an affair. But if those events are connected to what's happening now, and maybe there's much more than Natalie doesn't know about their father, about their neighbors, about her friends, maybe even about herself. But there are no secrets between sisters. Are there? This got a starred review from Library Journal. If you're interested in The Secrets We Share by Edwin Hill, it comes out March 29th. All right. I think the one I'm most interested in today is The Heights, because I don't know, sometimes I like a sparse description, because I want to know, I want to fill in all those details and things. I don't know. That's the one I'm kind of leaning towards this week. Next week, we are going to talk about all sorts of stuff, because I think, how many Tuesdays do we have this month? Oh, we do have 2 more Tuesdays. Okay, we're fine. Next week, we will most likely talk about historical fiction and romance. For some reason, I know we lose a Tuesday because of Mardi Gras, but I thought it was the 22nd. I think it's actually the 1st. I think we lose March 1st because of Mardi Gras. So yeah, we should be able to get through March fine. We may have to rush through April, but we'll see how many Tuesdays are in March. Yeah, don't forget to sign up for the giveaway. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. Don't forget to join me on Goodreads in our Tea and New Book Tuesday group. All of those things are fun and lovely. And yeah, I think I've babbled at you long enough. It's time to go about your week and enjoy your reading. So, see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.